All right, here's integration by substitution, day 2. There's more examples of substitution. So I'm going to take a look at the first one. My u is going to be the denominator, which is 16 minus x cubed. Du is negative 3x squared dx. So I have the x squared, I don't have the negative 3, so that means I got to divide both sides by negative 3. And remember that negative 3 is a constant, so I can pull that out front. And I'm going to write that u as to the negative 2 power. It's just easier to integrate it that way. So I have negative 1/3 times u to negative first times negative 1 plus c. Now I take the 16 minus x cubed and I put it into that u right there. So what I end up with is 1 divided by 3 times 16 minus x cubed plus c. Okay, and the second one here, I think you're going to be better off multiplying this t cubed through first. So we're just going to go ahead and distribute the t cubed. So I have 1/3 t cubed plus 1/4 t to the negative 2 dt. Now in this case here, I can just go ahead and integrate that, right? I don't need to do any substitution. So my final answer is going to be 1/12 t to the 4th minus 1/4 t plus c. Now if you want, you can pull out a 1/12 t, but you don't need to. I'm just going to leave it like that. Number 3. My u is going to be equal to cotan 4x. Du will equal negative 4 cosecant 4x dx. And that should be squared. So I have everything for my dx other than this negative 1/4, so I divide both sides by negative 1/4. I'm also going to pull out this 1/3. So I have 1/3 times negative 1/4 times u to negative 1/2 du. Now I integrate u to the negative 1/2. Remember, you're going to add 1 to the exponent, so that's going to be u to the 1/2 multiplied by the reciprocal of the exponent plus c. Now I substitute everything back in. Now if you want to write that under the root, you can. All right, number 4. f prime of x equals secant squared x over 3 times cotangent squared x over 3. Find f of x if pi comma 5 lies on f of x. So f of x equals. So f of x is going to equal the integration of secant squared x over 3 cotan squared x over 3. Now let's take a look at what this really equals. The secant squared is really 1 over cosine squared, right? Cotangent is really cosine squared x over 3 divided by sine squared x over 3, right? These divide out. So I'm really going to integrate what f of x really equals is this is going to be 1 over secant squared x over 3. So it's really going to be equal to cosecant squared x over 3 dx. That's really what I'm integrating. Now in this case, u is going to be x over 3. du equals 1/3 dx. Now I got to multiply both sides by 3. So what you have is 3 whoops, that should be cosecant. There's 3 cosecant u du. So when you integrate, f of x equals negative 3 cotangent x over 3 plus c. Now I'm going to take the pi, put it into the x, and the phi, put it into the f of x to find out what c is. So 5 equals negative 3 cotan of pi over 3 plus c. Five equals negative 3 times root 3 over 3, because that's the cotan of pi, over 3. So 5 equals negative root 3 plus 5 plus c. 5 plus root 3 equals c. Therefore, f of x equals negative 3 cotan x over 3 plus 5 plus root 3. Just remember that all that right there that we just figured out is c. Solve differential equations. So what we're doing here is you really want to find out what y is, okay? Is that really anything different than what we've been doing? So y equals, let's write it up here just so we remember. Find y. So 5x plus 10x squared over 1 plus x cubed to the 1/2 dx. Now this, I am going to use u substitution. So u equals 1 plus x to the 3rd power. Du is going to be equal to 3x squared. Now I have the x squared, I don't have the 10. Oh, this here should be dx. I have a 10 there, not a 3, so that 10 is actually a constant, right? And that 3 I can pull out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into 2 integrals. So I'm going to integrate 5x dx plus, I'm going to integrate pull out the 10/3 first. U to the negative 1/2 du. So when I integrate 5x, I get 5x squared over 2 plus, then I have 10/3 times u to the 1/2 multiplied by the reciprocal plus c. Five x squared over 2 plus 20 over 3 times 1 plus x cubed to the 1/2 power plus c. Number 6. So number 6, we're going to be integrating, or y equals x minus 4 over square root x squared minus 8x plus 1. U x squared minus 8x plus 1 du is 2x minus 8. Now look at that numerator in the integrand. That's x minus 4. So what I'm going to do is pull out a 2. So I have the x minus 4 dx, x minus 4. Whoops, forgot to put dx right there. So I got to divide everything by 2. Y equals 1/2 times u to the negative 1/2 du. Increase the exponent by 1, multiply by the reciprocal, add a c. So my answer is going to be x squared minus 8x plus 1 plus c. Now I'm going to back up for just a second. Sometimes what you'll see a book do is way back up here. This 2, they'll put a 2 right there and a 1/2 right here. The reason I do that is because I can say that they now are balancing the equation. Because 1/2 times 2 is the same thing as what you originally started off with. Which implies that back here they'd multiply, say, this by 3 or this up here by 3. Just so they can show that they're balancing. So right here, they'd put a -3 right there. Alright, what if du does not contain a variable, but there is a variable outside the composite function? Alright, so let's bear with me for just a second, and we're going to piece everything together. So my u is 2x plus 1. Du equals 2 dx. Now notice, I have this 2 dx right here. I don't have a 2 dx, so you know that you're going to be dividing everything by 2. I have this x here. I don't have an x down here with du, so what you have to do is the following. What I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this here for x. So u minus 1 over 2 equals x. Now du dx, or du 2 dx, that's just going to equal 2x, or du over 2 equals dx. Now we're going to kind of piece everything together. Again, this is your extra variable. Now when I go and integrate this, what you do is the following. We said that x equal to u minus 1 over 2, so that's going to come right here. That u minus 1 over 2 is my extra variable. Times u to the 1/2. That's what this is. Times du over 2. That's what that is. Now, I can pull out the 1/2, I can pull out the 1/2. So when I pull those out, what you have up front is really 1/4. Now I'm going to take the u to the 1/2 and distribute to the u minus 1. When I do that, I get u to the 3 over 2 minus u to the 1/2 du. Now this is something we're more familiar with in terms of integrating it. So I have 1/4 times u, add 1 to the exponent, that becomes 5 over 2, multiply by the reciprocal, minus, add 1 to the exponent, multiply by the reciprocal, add c. Now my next step, I'm actually going to pull out a 2 to the 15th u squared. I apologize, I should have had that in brackets because it's 1/4 times the whole thing. So now I'm going to pull out a 2u to the 2 over 15. So I have 1/4 times 2 over 15 u to the 3 over 2 times 3u minus 5. The reason I did this is going to be easier to deal with this 2x plus 1 when I substitute it back in. So you have 1 over 30 times 2x plus 1 to the 3 halves times 3 times 2x plus 1 minus 5 plus c. I'll go ahead and clean this up right here. One over 30 times 2x plus 1 to the 3 halves times 6x plus, that's actually going to be minus 2. Now, I can pull a 2 out of this. If I pull a 2 out of that, that reduces this to a 1/15 times 2x plus 1 to the 3 halves times 3x minus 1 plus c. So this is my final answer. One more example for 4.5, day 2. Whoops. All right, so u equals 2 minus x, and du is negative 1 dx. So u plus 2, which means negative u plus 2 equals x, and negative du equals dx. So my max is negative u plus 2 plus 1 times u to the 1/2 times negative du. Now, this step here, I'm going to take this negative sign and put it out front of the integral. I'm going to take the 3 and multiply it through. So this is going to be negative 3u plus 6 plus 1, which is 7, times u to the 1/2 du. I'll go ahead and multiply the u to the 1/2 through. Now we have this to the point where it's a lot easier to go ahead and integrate it. Now I integrate negative 3u to the 3 halves. Negative 3 times u, raise the exponent by 1, so it's going to be 5 over 2, multiplied by the reciprocal. Plus 7, raise the exponent by 1, multiplied by the reciprocal. Plus c. So this is going to be negative 6/5 u to the 5/2 plus 14/3 u to 3/2 plus c. Now what I'm going to do is pull out, looks like a negative 2 to the 15th, 3/2. Yeah. Shouldn't have said negative, this 2 to the 15th, u to 3/2. Now I do that, I get negative 9u plus 35. Whoops. Plus c. Now we put in what we know for u. And u is negative x plus 2, or 2 minus x, to 3/2 times. Now this is 2 minus x, so that's going to be negative 18 plus 9x. So negative 18 plus 35 is 17 plus 9x plus c. Okay, that concludes 4.5, day 2.